So when you say pizzas, what you really mean is tacos. Gotcha. Making door tacos.
Delicious.
There's no going back. You cannot stop the door tacos. Really good production quality on this video, actually.
Yeah, it was very well done.
Yeah. We need to get that voice actor back.
That would be great.
Yeah, it's probably a pretty simple voice to mimic. Let's see how it's done. All you have to do is, you know, pick a random character from South Park.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Hey guy, how you doing, buddy? Let's play some ZPS now. Yeah? Or just Saddam Hussein from South Park. There we go. Alright, let the video run for a second. Our fearless leader, Henry the Cat, is attacking my birdcage, so I'll be right back.
Alrighty. We're working on it, hero.
Crisis averted. Everybody's fine. Let's see here. We got a good crowd going?
Yeah, yeah, you can start whenever.
Looks like it. Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as per usual, I'm Ratboy, accompanied by NeoAssassin and everybody's favorite mascot, Henry the Cat. And today, we're doing some good old-fashioned guerrilla modeling. We're going to break down some doors. Now, this is going to be a not really a general replacement for the Half-Life 2 door model, which you may or may not recognize here without a texture on it. So our fantastic godlike coder, Johnny Boy, has taken these broken door models from Left 4 Dead 2 for the sole purpose of scripting some destructible doors. But I'm sure that for copyright infringement purposes and or something of the like, not being able to redistribute Left 4 Dead content, we have to remake the models. So here we are. We just kind of decided on this yesterday, which is why I'm calling it guerrilla modeling, because I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I pulled up as many references as I could here. And we're going to try and make a wooden version and a metal version. That's so metal, bro. Like, whoa. Thank you, Keanu Reeves. Get out of my bedroom. And... So, yeah. Basically how it works is, unfortunately, it's not collision-based. Like, if you're banging on it here, it's going to make a hole here. Like, it's, no matter where you hit the door, this is going to be the next version of the broken door. And you hit it a few more times, and then this is going to be the next version. But the collision will be accurate, at least, so you can shoot and use melee weapons through these holes. and that's going to be pretty freaking neat. I mean, if you've ever played Left 4 Dead 2, I'm sure you probably remember exactly how these destructible doors work. Now, of course, we're still going to have the option for non-destructible doors. That would be silly, because quite a few maps, mine included, rely pretty strongly on locked doors until a certain objective is completed, and then it opens up a new area. But there's a lot of doors that just kind of get in the way, and with some of our new coding, it's getting pretty easy to get stuck in them, even though we tried to get rid of the door spamming capability, and we did effectively, but now you get stuck in them. So we figured, well, if we can just break them open, then that will be considerably less of a problem. So, without further ado, there's a whole lot of other things going on with these in the background that I'm not going to concentrate on today. That's the kind of thing I'm going to have to work out with Johnny Boy to make sure that these are up to snuff and working properly. So we're just going to concentrate on the mesh, and that should take care of pretty much our whole stream today. Man, I can never remember. There we go. Just need to get rid of that stupid little dongle. Gets in my way, frankly. I prefer hotkeys. So can't decide if I want to do the wooden version first or the metal version first. I kind of want to do the metal version first because I'm afraid I'm gonna end up just copying this a little too much. See, now I can't just go headlong into making some holes in the doors. Like if I were to make a hole, you know, here we've got some brush versions. Like if you've played Thrillville, like it doesn't matter where you hit the door, or it does matter where you hit the door. So it can take out like this chunk first, and then this chunk, and then this chunk, and you only need to take out 2 of the chunks to be able to actually get through the door. Whereas with this one, the way they designed it, it does a really nice job of making sure that you really can't get through the door with your whole player character until the door is completely broken. So we kind of need to do that without completely ripping off this model as well, I think. Yeah. So let's start with just making a cube. Cursor to center, actually. Yeah, I'm going to start it here.
I'm not entirely sure whether Johnny Boy can set it up so they have like hit groups. So it's like you're saying how the brush-based versions work. You can hit out different sections. I wonder if Johnny Boy can set it up that way because yeah, the way these ones work, I think was the way we were planning on going with it. But if Johnny Boy could easily implement that, that would be a better way to go.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, and that sounds like a tricky way to set it up. Like he's already got this set up, and I think this is a good setup, honestly. Like, sure, it's not 100% accurate based on where you're hitting it, but I like it anyway.
It is pretty simple and effective, and yeah, it's both used in Left 4 Dead and well, Left 4 Dead, Left 4 Dead 2, and CS:GO. So.
Oh, really? CS:GO? I was not aware.
Yeah, they use a similar, like, destructible door system.
Mm-hmm.
Gets holes in it like that after so many shots or damage to it.
Well, that makes sense.
And to answer your question, Spy Daniel, yeah, we probably could make it look like it has claw marks, but I'm not sure whether we would want to just go with that exclusively because it has to look like it's damage from both teams, not just because the survivors will damage it and break it too.
Right. Well, I mean, it could go with the. I'm not sure exactly what the question is about the claw marks here, but I mean, melee weapons make their own separate decal, just like the claw weapons make their claw mark decal. Oh, I see. So the damage are claw marks. Yeah. Oh, so like build it into the model. Yeah, like Neo said, that's problematic because both teams are going to be able to damage these. Otherwise, it's not particularly fair. And regardless of unfair, more importantly, it would be unbalanced.
It'd be a lot harder to set it up so that it would recognize the zombie damage apart from survivor damage, and we'd also have to make them different models for that, or I guess have to do something like that.
Exactly.
Versions of the model.
And there's going to be cases where both humans and zombies are whacking on the door, and it's sure, there could be a tally system, like which team did more damage could decide whether or not the next model of damage that shows up was based on human or zombie damage, but I think that's getting a little too complicated for not a whole lot of payoff, honestly. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get this sized up here.
Oh, and like you were saying before about not being able to, you weren't sure about the copyright infringement with the Left 4 Dead content. I'm pretty sure that Valve allows you to use pretty much almost all their content as long as you're not monetizing it. I think if you give them credit or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I quickly searched it up a few days ago and saw in the Game Banana post that explained some of this stuff and had link to a list of different companies, developer companies or whatever that allow you to use their content if you give them credit and whatnot.
Okay.
And I had post that in our Slack chat there.
All right, I must have missed that. But yeah, I swear they've gone through a few iterations of that policy then, because I could have sworn that for a while there you were only allowed to redistribute like base Half-Life 2 content, but not Episode 2 content. But yeah, that I may have misheard, and that could have just been for monetized games.
I'm sorry. I think the thing what said was that as long as it's included in the SDK, you can get the files out of the SDK. Then it's okay to use it, mod the files and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's pretty much what the article said regarding Valve content and whatnot. Otherwise, the list I was talking about was other developers that don't really have an SDK like that.
Muy interesante. Okay, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and make new models anyway, because it's fun. Yeah, now I went ahead and I put all of these jibs. These are not one of the version. The green one here is not a version of the destructed door. These are the chunks that get pulled out of the door. And then most of them are chunks of the last remaining one that then all fall apart as you finish up the destruction of the door. Some of these, we should actually be lining these up with the version of the door that the chunks need to come out of. I mean, it's kind of neither here nor there. But I'm just trying to keep that in mind for... Wait, where was that? That was on the right side of the door. Yeah, just trying to keep that in mind for when I get there. Because I'm going to have to make my own versions of jibs. I need to be able to set it up properly. Looks like that comes out of there. And I can verify this with the naming convention of the... They're all matched up over here by the names. But it's kind of more fun putting it together like a puzzle here.
Johnny Boy says he'll be joining the Discord shortly.
Oh, fantastic. Looks like this obviously pops out of here.
The issue with these doors too is that they're larger size than a lot of the doors that are used in pretty much all our maps. So, you know, in some cases that would be problematic where space is very limited, but, you know, in most cases it wouldn't be an issue. But it's easier if we just, you know, remake it same size as the other doors or the doorways we already have.
Alright, I think I made a mistake already, so I shouldn't be filling the holes, I should be laying them over top of the mesh that they're supposed to be supposedly replacing when it does the switch off. So yeah, that would go there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see, where was that? That was on the right side. This one goes around about here-ish. Then I can make sure I line these up perfectly with their origin points. That's not a big deal. This one could pretty much go on any of them. I'm going to put it on that one. This one definitely goes here. Okay, yeah. Makes sense. This one goes here. But then there's no gyps popping out of this one. Anyway, not important. Back to our flat rectangle, which yeah, I probably could have just made a copy of the Half-Life 2 door there and gotten the same effect, but that's all chopped up. Need a nice, clean, flat version. Make sure that I've got the origin set up properly. Set origin, 3D cursor. And then get that 3D cursor out of my way. There we go. So I need a reference image because, yeah, here we go. So these are just two of the skins, the ones that I most commonly use in Zomboing anyway. Here we go. Yeah, let's make the wooden version based on this texture. So I feel like this is more like an interior door. So
yeah, it should be fine. Sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. Edge. Yeah, now I'm all messed up, Neo. Stream is canceled, everybody. Go home. Jeez.
Oh no. What have I done?
That's right. Nobody pisses off the Ratboy. I'm just gonna eyeball this.
You know the Ratboy's pissed off when he becomes Italian.
My genes are actually mostly English and a little bit Hungarian, so... Yep, bona fide mutt. I need more beer for this. And I'm drinking a Foster's. The Australians would be pissed. Mostly because they hate being associated with Foster's. Moving along. So... Where'd that... Is that it? That's it. Yeah, I mean, that should be pretty simple here. Let's see, these are pretty skinny, huh? Wonder how that compares. Ooh, that's considerably wider than the standard Half-Life 2 door. That's going to make things interesting. So I've got all my door frames sized up to this Half-Life 2 door. Maybe I should be scaling it to that. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Say what?
I was saying, you probably want to scale, the new door you're making to the size of the HL2 door, because that's what most of, all our doors in the stock maps are that size, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if Johnny's planning on making making this into a separate entity, or is it just going to be an option of prop door rotating?
It's going to be a separate entity, I believe.
Okay, so like prop rotating destructible door or something like that.
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, that'll make more sense, because otherwise this will end up replacing all the existing Half-Life 2 doors with destructible doors and breaking more than just the doors, just breaking the whole game basically. So yeah, gonna size it up based on this then.
Hey, Johnny, welcome.
Hello. I'm quite behind on the stream, but kind of listening to the part where Ratboy is talking about the entity area. It's basically the same entity name, but it's all the doors spawn with non-breakable because they have no health.
Okay.
Yeah, if the doors have a -1, which if you haven't compiled with an FTT, then it has a -1, or has 0, then it will be unbreakable.
Okay, so it's set up so that they'll all be unbreakable by default.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe I feel like the default value of health is 100, because I know a lot of my doors on Zomboing have a health set to 100, and it's just never been an issue because
I use new entity. I don't use health, what is called in the FTT. I use something called door health.
Okay, so it's a new variable.
Yes.
Cool.
Won't make anything. It's just that the old variable never worked in the first place.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say. I was never able to destroy a door that I had health set on. So, and honestly, I can't think of any doors in Half-Life 2 that I was able to destroy that were just, default doors. But I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played through it.
Half to have no breakable doors. I looked up through the code, and that it was beginning. Half was going to have it, but they actually removed it later on. I think late in development.
Gotcha. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of vestigial things lingering around in Half-Life 2 where they just never took it out.
Yeah, some parts is also from Gold Source era.
Oh, I see. That's what I needed. But I screwed up my 3D cursor. So, there we go.
Oh, yeah, there's one thing that's very noticeable currently. Is if you shoot doors in Half-Life 2 or CPS 2.4, you see your bullet detail will spam across the actual model. But now it actually is more accurate, so it won't like spam everywhere on the actual model anymore.
Yeah, I don't even recall noticing that glitch.
Yes, launch up CPS 2.4, go into biotech, shoot a door, then you see all your bullet decals being sprayed all over the door.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah. Getting a bit of an echo here. Yeah, so like when you're a zombie and you run up to a door and you just hit it once and then suddenly you see like 9 decals show up on the door.
Yeah, that's fixed.
That's fixed?
Yes, because I had to change how the door works. I had to make sure you can shoot through the door, so it actually calculates the actual physics of the entity more properly.
Oh, fantastic. Yep, that is why we love Johnny Boy, everybody. He's got his shit together. Right. I was working on this. Thinking might just extrude that in. Oh, need to go back to normal scaling here. Take a look back at this guy real quick. Don't need to make it too complicated. So I was looking at how they did it over here. Yeah, they just do a very slight little depression there, and then a slightly more severe one, and then they call it a day.
I think we should probably give the new doors a new texture, maybe.
Yeah, we can do that. Mainly just using.
Tell players like, look, this is a destructible door. So then they'll go randomly hitting the old default doors.
Well, I mean, they all will anyway, but no, you're right. Oh.
Well, the main thing would be a sound, that you can distinguish that it's actually breaking from just a normal hit sound.
Yeah, I have added on the door options on when QC file when you compile it, so you can set on each version of the child or children and the parent, like when you hurt it, you will actually hear a sound coming from the door, and when it breaks, of course. So you have a wooden one or like.
Yeah, that'll work out well.
Oh yeah, there's also one thing I forgot to say that is that I also fixed it actually now emits the sounds as it should. If you remember, if you hit a door in Half 2, you don't even hear the actual sound. You only hear like a default decal and default sound going boom.
Yeah, like the impact from the crowbar or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pretty much how it works for us, I think. Yeah.
So now it's actually accurate. If you have a metal door, it will actually emit metal sounds.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I got quite annoyed seeing that metal doors just emit metal sounds.
Oh yeah, we need a new metal sound. That one that's in there is super obnoxious.
Doom, doom, doom.
Well, it sounds like a building is crashing to the ground because you slapped a door. And I mean, it's effective because it's very recognizable, but it's a bad sound effect for that purpose.
Maybe the whole building is falling apart.
Right? Alright, so I think that's probably good enough for the base of the door. Not terribly worried about the knob. Just going to apply that, and then we can start attempting to destroy it. But first I must crush its soul. See, I was thinking we could take kind of an approach similar to... I'm going to hide this. Get it out of my way here. Actually, I'm going to put it on a different layer. Yeah, what's that movie called with Jack Nicholson? Where he's chopping down the door. They're in the mansion.
No idea.
Oh, come on, somebody's got to know this. Don't make me IMDb it. Da, 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 da. The Shining! He's got it.
Yeah, I knew it started with a mess.
So yeah, we're going to take a cue from The Shining. And we're just going to murder our whole families. I mean, make a door model. I'd sell my soul for a drink. No, wait, I already have a drink. Joke's on you. I sold my soul a long time ago, kids. Spread out like Horcruxes amongst all the various community theaters in the area. Just wait until I'm in my 40s or 50s and then go back and recreate Harry Potter to get them back. They'll love it. It'll be great. He always did have a knack for drama. Alright, this is where it gets interesting. And we're only 42 minutes into the stream. Well, more like 39 because we were 3 minutes late starting, and that's not the point. So yeah,
It's
we're
not a big deal happens.
say what?
I just said it's not a big deal happens. Yeah, if we're a little late.
Yeah.
I usually always make sure to tell them like long before we ever stream if we're not streaming that night.
Man, I wish these didn't get imported in pre-triangulated. It'd be so much easier to look at. So what I'm worried about with making the metal door is that these need to be breakable from both sides, and breaking a metal door, it feels like it would need to get caved in a bit before it's actually going to start to tear the metal. So if you're hitting it from the wrong side, it's going to start caving in the wrong way. So it's easier to make a broken wooden door because you can just kind of chip the wood away.
Yeah, they have the same problem in level 2, where only if you hit the metal door, it goes pretty weird. That's why they have, I think it was a left and right version.
Ah, I see. So yeah, if we make the metal version, yeah, we're gonna have to do a left and right version, and then use it sparingly and not in places where it can be hit from both sides. Because that'll look weird. Unless we want to try and fudge it and make it look like it's, gets dented to the left, and then it gets dented to the right down here, and then just kind of a hole pops open in the middle. I don't know, but that seems like it would look dumb to me, honestly. All right, I'm stalling. I'm just gonna, I can always take some edge loops out if I have to. It's gonna be a process here. Throw an edge loop there. Throw an edge loop there. Throw an edge loop. Not there. There we go.
I'm pretty sure even in CS:GO, like on, I think the nuke, can't remember. It's like the one with the warehouse, the silo and whatnot. And there's a lower level.
TE nuke. Yeah, they had the same issue there. But
Yeah, there's the breakable door, and like if you break it from the one side, then yeah, it can break in towards you. So it's not that big of an issue.
Yeah, but what they did there is that they made it bend from both sides. So they made it like, yes, if you hit it, then you have like a big bolt on both ends.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, but I thought they might have did something like that. And like with their wooden or their metal door, it's like I think a big hole like just in the middle forms before it completely breaks. It's not like this wooden door where it's on each side. There's holes.
You know what? I think I need to leave the mirror modifier until I've got my basic chunks selected out here. So I think this is all distracting me here. I need to get these out of my way and just concentrate on my own doors. Move. So we're looking at the back side of the door. going to delete that, and we're going to re-add that modifier. Clipping. So that way, whatever we do to the front is going to happen to the back, and then we can make it slightly asymmetrical later. One thing at a time. Let's see, so it seems likely that the majority of the damage is going to take place around here. So we kind of wanted to try and make a little bit of sense. Because I know when I was trying out the example doors, the ones ported in by Johnny Boy, the ones that I just moved to another layer, I was just, once I figured out that the hole wasn't going to pop up where I was hitting it, I would just hit it in the center. Oh yeah, there's a question for you, Johnny. How hard would that be to set up if we were to make it so like if you're hitting it here, then that's where the... You know what? Never mind, because that's going to make more work for me. Having to come up with a bunch of different variations of holes in the models.
Yeah, it would take a bit more work.
Yeah, I think sticking with the current system definitely, yeah, definitely good idea. Definitely. I might need more subdivisions. Yeah. And this is just going to make it easier for me in the breaking it apart process, and then I can trim it down and optimize it a bit once we've got it set. So maybe we can just like select kind of a random, like I said, guerrilla modeling, guys. So let's destroy that. Love it. Let's see, how am I going to do this? Probably want to, let's just see what happens if I delete that. But we want to delete faces. There it is. It's done. Let's go home, boys. Okay. Seriously, though. Yep. The old brain's working. I'm going to separate that by selection. There. See, so now we got a chunk there. And so I'm going to hide that chunk. We're going to smooth this out. And because of the mirror modifier, I don't even have to worry about selecting multiple vertices here. I'm just going to have to... Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. See? That's good. And we can probably just couple of those all together. And maybe make a quad out of that. Make a tri out of that. Alright, I'm going to stop trying to make it perfect on the first time around here and just make it look more like an organic whole. And yeah, I kind of like it being a little more square up there, like it caught a piece of the grain as it was chipping out. Yeah, I kind of like that hole. So probably best way to do this is not to try and make this piece match so much as, yeah, I think that's just going to be more work than it's worth. I'm going to hide it and save it just in case, but what I think we should do is just go around, select this whole edge. And then I think if I do a separate by selection on that, yep, fantastic. See, it doesn't actually delete this edge around here. Just makes a copy of it and makes a new object out of it, which is exactly what we want. But I'm thinking first, well, let me just go ahead and fill in some faces there. Just try and grab a few faces across from each other there. And I'm not terribly worried if we accidentally make some triangles instead of quads, because it all gets triangulated anyway. This is going to be messy. Ooh, no, can't do that. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Okay, see, this is why we try to keep things in quads, because then it's easier to make new edge loops that don't just destroy everything. But the great part is, since we're making this for a broken model, it's not going to be particularly questionable if some of the lighting is a little wonky. There, that's quite possibly the most awful mesh I've ever made. Yeah, love it. Let's just cover that up by shading it smooth. Oh, good times. Probably going to redo that at some point. Let's see, which one? That's the one I hid. Need to start naming these. All right, so cube is door. Let's see, how are those other ones named? It's got door interior, 11201 damage 04, 05 reference. Those might be the jibs. Oh, 101 damage 0201. Door. CPS. Damage 01, I'm going to say 00 because it is not damaged at all. A 1. Two. Oh, 3. Yeah. That is that piece. Hide that. So call this O2. Okay, I'm going to stop trying to copy the call this chunk and make it correspond to the number of the door, which is 01, and then this is chunk 01, or rather first chunk. Not sure that makes sense. Good enough for now. Alright, this is awful. I don't like this. Let's try that again. Now, as we noticed from the way that they have the Left 4 Dead 2 doors, these don't have to fit in perfect, and it'll look just fine when it jibs apart.
Yeah, you're not really going to be able to notice that that piece didn't exactly fit in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like you can pick it up and try and fit it back in or something. Let's see. Yeah. Starting to look a little like Texas. That's okay.
Yeah, I guess in a way it does.
Actually, no, it looks more like a stomach or a kidney.
Oh yeah, that too.
Anyway, whew, I like that way better. I'm glad I redid that. All right. Guess I'll get one more chunk started, and then in a few minutes, I'm going to take a break here. Actually, that should be about all we need for the first. Well, I guess the way they did it on here, they've got 2 holes, and then they just progressively make the holes bigger, and they pop out a panel on top. Cursor to selected. I wonder if I can get these all lined up at the same time. Oh, I can. Excellent. Nope, not that one. Snap selection cursor. I feel like there's one more hanging out over here. There's one. Selection of cursor. I got that guy over here. I know there's one more tiny little splinter hanging out in there. There it is. Save that. I was like, where'd my model go? It's on another layer. Good, good, good. So I think Mascot Henry wants me to play with him. Can't right now, bud. I think I'm just going to take a little chunk out of the lower corner here. Maybe, yeah, let's do this. Damn it. There we go. Make it like it's just popping out this little chunk of panel. Where'd that go? There it is. So we're going to call this something something chunk. Where did that other chunk go? Cube 04. Oh, I deleted the other one because it was crap. So, door, CPS, chunk, 01, and because it's the first chunk, 0. Chunk 0101. Let's see if I can remember how I did that. Yes, I started here, 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 going up diagonally. Let's see. I think that's going to help. Okay, so now I can just delete these faces. Just bring this down. Yeah, there we go. What I should have done. Should have separated that instead of the other one like I did. So that's the one I want. So Chunko 101, I'm just going to copy the name of that and then delete it because I don't like it. And this is the one I want. And give it that name. I did this all wrong. All right, so now I'm gonna go take a minute. Gonna do a little bit of brainstorming, give my hands a chance to rest for a moment, stand up straight, and force you guys to watch our videos. on the store page. And we're going to come back and we're going to keep breaking some doors. I think it's going relatively well.
Yeah, you could probably turn up the volume on the video a little bit more.
I may or may not be able to do that. Let's see here. Alright, switching over, and I'll see if I can turn up the volume. That's as high as it's going to go.
Yeah, well, that should be fine for when we're AFK.
Screw this noise, I'm gone.
Do you have a problem with zombies? Find that you need to panic.
Get away!
Before you do, here's the important things to remember when coming in contact with our fellow undead colleagues. Here is your friendly everyday survivor. He is your wingman. Keep close to this one. Over here is our not so friendly everyday zombie who enjoys nothing more than devouring your juicy brains. Keep your distance from this fellow. He may cause you a spot of bother. Now that you know who's who, it's time to know what's what. Rule number 1, stick together. It's a harsh world out there and you don't want to be left alone. Sticking together with your fellow survivors will ensure you'll always have someone to watch your back in that moment of need. Stay alone too long and you'll end up as today's special. Let's see an example of this.
Get away! Leave me alone!
Rule number 2, give a little, get a lot. It's always nice to share things with people you trust, so why not do it with ammo? Here's Yuji, a friendly chap, sure, but does he really need all those weapons? Marcus over here has only a pot. Wouldn't you rather share some of your weapons and ammo with him? But look, you can barely run. Guns and ammo weigh you down. Only take what you really need and give the rest to your colleagues, making it a much more enjoyable experience for the whole family. Let's see this in action.
I'm empty.
Rule number 3, block their passage. As fun as it is to block someone's passage, it is usually frowned upon. But as you are dealing with zombies, it is well advised that you do so whenever you can. Watch out, though. Those clever zombies can push them out of the way if you let them. Let's see how it's done.
Stay close. There's gotta be supplies around here. Hey, watch my back. We're gonna hold them off here.
Rule number 4. Do the objectives. Killing zombies alone won't save you. You need an escape plan, old chap. The brigade aren't coming for you anymore, so you need to get out of there. Usually, you will be required to find a means of getting out of the situation by using keys and/or switches to reach new areas. But watch out, they could be waiting for you. Let's see the escape procedure of this facility.
This place is too quiet. Got your back. Hey, don't let me die. I'm going in. Shoot him! Damn it! Kill all you bitches! Come on, let's get out of here.
That's right. I kill all you bitches. Mm-hmm.
Rule number 5.
Rule number 5. Keep away from the car. That's right, guy. Don't do it, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy. Not your friend, buddy. Not your friend, guy. It says we'll be right back. Do not rage quit. Nobody likes a whiny whitey. And we mean it. Referring to the carrier zombie. Don't get any funny ideas. So we're back. Neo, Johnny, you still there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yeah.
Woot.
I think so.
Alright, so I got a little ahead of myself when I made 4 doors, but it helped me visualize some things. But we're just going to be able to just go ahead and delete that, and then just copy over this guy. And keep working from there, and then do the same thing when we move on to this model. But actually, just realized before I do that, we need to give some substance to the insides of these doors, which is going to be pretty simple. So let's do that first, instead of making more work for ourselves later. Let's start by hiding these. And just need to give the the name that I copied over to that, so that I can rename the new one when we're done here. It's going to be pretty simple. Just need to grab all that. Since we got that fancy dancy mirror modifier on here, I can just extrude Y and bam, it's a hole. And so that it's not totally flat, I can just scale it a wee bit in. Hey, 5P3C7 is one of us. Thank you for the follow. Starting to get a little sad and lonely. We didn't get a single follow the whole last stream. So we're gonna do that, and then just give it a little more variation. Feel like I should do some other stuff to the inside of this hole. Giggity.
Far being this isn't really a tutorial. Ratboy is just working on the door, and it's not brush based. This is model.
Oh, thank you very much. We do have some breakable brush model doors that I think it would be very useful to the community if we were to release them as a prefab, especially since we're probably going to be replacing all of them with our new breakable models, and you'll inherently be able to use these breakable models. They'll just be part of the repository. Okay, the scaling I did there did more damage than help, so I'm going to undo that.
I'm surprised prefab hasn't already been released.
I know, right? Well, it may have been, now that you mention it, because Arkham was pretty good about that. But, I don't know, I'd have to double check. Okay, actually...
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't say for sure.
Okay, I thought I had accidentally scaled this out, but that's just where the panel comes out into the outside of the door there. So that's fine.
And you need you to check Slack real quick.
So I'm just going to peel some of these corners back a little bit. Yes, you can, Fava Bean. Did. It's already been done in mainstream source games like Left 4 Dead, and we're actually replacing those models. Our coder Johnny Boy already did an excellent job of porting and reconfiguring the code to suit our own needs from Left 4 Dead. I mean, really, you can do anything with models that you can do with brushes and better. Pretty much all modern game engines are moving over to completely mesh-based everything, and BSPs are going the way of the dodo, and while they're still being used in engines like Unreal, they are not intended to be part of the final product of the game. They're really more just there for prototyping and getting things sized up properly. Unfortunately, obviously you have to know how to model, and it's very helpful to either know how to code or have a coder that you can work very closely and very well with to make those meshes behave the way that you want to. But with animations and just a few if statements here and there, you can do a whole lot. Ooh, I'm liking that. Let's do the same thing down here. Extrude on the Y. Make sure that those are stuck. They are. Once again, just peel that back a little bit. Let's see, I was going to say something else about brush models. It'll come back to me when it's not relevant anymore, of course. Oh, right. Yeah, you were asking if this is a tutorial, and Neo said it's not really a tutorial. I'm just kind of doing some work. Yeah, we the very first stream that I took over doing, we were trying to do like a beginner's tutorial style stream, and it just didn't seem to be a good format for the stream because there's already so much content out there that's going to cover beginners needs or intermediate needs or advanced needs a little better than what I'm going to be able to cover all inclusively here. So I'm just doing some stuff. If you learn something, great. If you don't, there's resources for that. But yeah, this is more about just giving you guys an inside look at what's going on in Zombie Panic. Just the tip of the iceberg. Just things that seem appropriate to show you guys. What makes it sound like a big garbage can being kicked when you punch them is the sound effect that sounds like a big garbage can being kicked. And that's funny, we were actually discussing that towards the beginning of this tonight's stream, and we're going to be replacing that sound effect, at least for these doors. I think that gets left in most of the time because it's very recognizable, and it's a good way to know whether or not what you're hitting is destructible or not. So we just need a more accurate cue sound effect for that. Let's see here. Now I need to do the same thing-ish to these chunks.
If I were being, I mean, we all have our own opinions on Church and Cabin. I myself, I mean, it can be fun, even for zombie, just killing some survivors, just getting the upper hand on survivor side map. That can be fun. But like, as a dev team, we don't really, people do what they want. We don't really care. It's not up to us to say, well, you can't do that.
Yeah,
we'll have our own personal opinions.
We're not here to tell you how to play the game. I mean, certainly we have our own ideas about stock gameplay and how we would like it to be played. and how we personally like to play. And, you know, we all have our own varying concepts of that. And we just try and find a happy medium, something that's going to please the community as well as us.
Yeah, and then there's also like the personal opinions. But basically, my personal opinion, speaking for myself, not the dev team, is that I like to play the game as how the original developers intended. Basically, the both team have equal chance of winning, but zombies have more chance of winning because they only have melee weapons. Only thing they have. If you get what I mean.
Yeah, you have to balance it out for that. You have to account for that survivors have range and zombies don't. So it has to be that advantage for zombies.
And zombies will have like a 90% chance of winning, but zombies will also have a big chance of winning if you know what you're doing. Basically, skill is a key part of the game. It's a big learning curve, and you should know what you're doing. And it's like CS:GO kind of thing. Basically, all maps will be unbalanced if you don't know what you're doing. If you know all the stuff and so on the maps, then you know exactly how to, use those to your advantage. But just making, a camp map where survivor gets shit ton of weapons from spawn and then zombies get wrecked all the time. That's I don't really think that's part of CPS. Just exploits that they can't hit you. You can just spawn kill them easily, and they can't do anything about it. Then you just rage quit. That's what I basically think of those maps. But if they were made properly, then I don't really mind it. Yeah, but that's my own opinion, though.
Ratboy, I think you could turn up the volume, probably your desktop volume a little bit.
To try and make Johnny a little louder.
Yeah, I suppose because the volume for the video seemed a little low when I heard it back in the stream.
Yeah, I could. Here, let me show you this. The desktop audio is already pretty far up there, and
okay, well then probably just turn Johnny up, I guess.
I think Johnny needs to turn up. I think Johnny needs to turn up his outgoing volume, because you're perfectly loud, and if I turn it up any louder, you're going to start echoing through my mic.
Alright, yeah. Yeah, it must be why.
I'm already like on the top.
You can probably turn him up too, Ratboy, by clicking on him in Discord, like you did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good plan. I could do that. Just one moment. There we go.
Hi, am I loud now?
You're a little louder.
Am I destroying your ears?
You might now, because I just turned you up to 200%. Say something again.
Hi, I'm destroying your ears now.
I'm going to drop you to 150, and you should be good.
Hi, I'm destroying your ears.
There you go. Now you're about the same volume as Neo.
He's probably fine when he's turned up real loud. That seemed alright in the video. Yours loud enough, Ratboy. You're more than louder than us.
Okay. Yeah, I have a habit of getting the mic too close to my mouth too. So,
My mic away from it because I don't want to like breathe into the microphone.
No, heavy breathing. It's what people want. Come on, Neo. Heavy breathe with us. That's real good. That's real good. No! Well, I suppose it is Revenge of the 5th. Did anybody celebrate May the 4th be with you yesterday?
No, I didn't celebrate it, but I saw, yeah.
I was sleeping.
Fine.
I'm programming.
One of the
I don't
baristas.
have a life.
One of the baristas at my coffee shop that I go to was actually dressed as a Vulcan science officer from Star Trek, just to be a troll. So that's fun. So now we can move on. Gonna delete this one.
I'm kind of dead because I'm trying to like update the door and doing some well, useful features.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, Frank, that's one of the reasons I enjoyed playing Cabin and Blake every now and then, although I would hardly play it as much. It's just it was fun playing the challenge as zombie. I mean, that's part of the fun of Harvest too, but Harvest has gotten a little unbalanced over the updates without much adjustments to it.
Oh yeah, it turns out that depending on which like church or cabin map you play. Because I
Yeah, so
remember
some of
that Mad Dog did a fixed version where it is balanced, but people like to play on the unbalanced one where zombies can't really do much.
Yeah, that's what people tend to prefer, especially newer players.
Sad though. Then they think that's how Seep is played. That's just the sad part.
Yeah, that's what people enjoy. I mean, I like Counter-Strike. Yeah, I love to play, vanilla Counter-Strike, but then it's like they had superhero mod and stuff like that. And then that was extremely fun to play, and yeah, that completely, changed the game. There's lots of unbalances. You could call them unbalances. Things that were unbalanced.
It's just that you need to see the big line between like custom content and the actual content that comes with the game.
Yeah, that will help.
Because some people think that this is how CPS is, like this is the base content, because some servers doesn't really explain that this is custom. They guys, no, this is vanilla, real deal.
Yeah, when you can't tell the difference for new players, yeah, they don't know then. But maybe we can implement some things to help tell them that it is that, and otherwise,
So-
then you can't really keep that from happening.
So that how been implemented with stuff I did with floating screen.
Yeah.
So, but that won't be a problem more. But it's just that on 2.4 you can clearly see that people can do this nasty stuff.
Plus, it's been a long time since any update, so yeah, I mean, custom content is going to become real popular since there will have been newer custom content released compared to what's been done to stock content. Blue Drake, I don't recall. I'm sure they could have possibly stopped by, or he could have, whoever. But I'm not really sure who that is. I'm bad enough with names as it is, anyways. And if he only came through here, a minimal amount of times, then yeah, I'm not really gonna remember.
Which stuff? I kind of spaced out.
And chat, the 5P3 says he thought Blue Drake and the squad would have jumped in here asking questions. But I'm sure they probably have at one point.
Hmm.
No idea who Blue Trey and the squad is. I'm just confused.
I would assume that there's some community members. From what server, I'm not sure. Maybe 5P3 could answer.
Well, it's that time of the stream, everybody. I've officially broken it. It happens at least once a stream. I suppose it wouldn't be that hard to start over at this point, but I think I may have accidentally duplicated something that I should not have, or vice versa. Troubleshooting time with Ratboy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, see, when I hide that, it should, let's just delete that and see what happens here, because, why is that still there like that? There we go. Must have accidentally made 2 copies of that.
There you go. I finally did the last changes for the prop door. The entity.
Alright.
There was 2 functions that was missing on the inputs. There was, set overriding the health and making sure you can always enable or disable the destructible stuff. Example, on Ratboy's map, maybe you want the door to be destructible, but not at spawn, so you want to do like to make sure you call the logic auto to call it to be non-destructible, and then when you want to be destructible, you just call it to be destructible.
Oh, so we can add an output to the door to make it destructible later.
Yes, you call the input. Basically, you call it and then you input the value like set destructible 0. That will make it not destructible. 1, which means it will.
Excellent.
Of course, you need to do it with now currently with only if you do like logic out or call it through round start or something. But yeah, it's there. Useful for mappers.
Yeah, will come in handy in certain scenarios.
Sounds good.
Ratboy's map. Or any kind of map. I also need to recompile the default half 2 doors, because currently even the wood is doing metal sounds because it's not really reading the new prop surface data for new skins. It's just reading a default one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Volvo.
Yeah.
I think they kind of dropped it because they broke the entity, the service props. I think that thing just they didn't really go past their mind or something. They just, I don't know. They just broke the door and then the service prop also broke with it. So I don't think they even bothered to fix it.
I guess not.
Oh well, it's fixed now. But I can do say that this the left the two prop actually has a working service prop. It actually does use the wood.
At least they did it right.
And left the two always one I actually use to test the destructible doors. Else I won't have imported it.
Okay, and then actually it might be easier to just size these ones up instead of trying to copy it over like last time, because now I need to keep in mind not accounting for the previous hole, so this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, I also want to say that depending on which weapon you have, it depends how many times you need to shoot or hit it. Example, a sledgehammer only need 3 times to hit a door. Shotgun, you only need like 2 or 3 blasts because you basically destroy the whole door with a fucking shotgun.
Yeah, that's good. That's the way it should work.
And then, but you also need to set the health properly. So you have a metal door, you need to have it like 200 health or 300, while the wood can be like 100, which I use on my test map.
Yeah, that makes sense. Level designers will have to set it accordingly.
Yes. Especially as trial and error, like with everything.
The 5P3, I suppose they were using the same doors. If it was same sound. But I don't recall any door that was in TF2 and Counter-Strike Source.
They
And I haven't
have
played since.
they have the base props from Half-Life 2, but essentially also has ability to use breakable doors, if I recall correctly. So use the same base engine as Left 4 Dead, so they have access for that code.
Okay.
I basically wrote my own code, which is similar to the Left 4 Dead's, like breakable doors.
No, that's no good. Well, I must have lost a face somewhere in the process in a couple of spots. So that works. Here we go. It's coming along. A little bit of damage.
To answer 5P 3C7 or VM, the name, but as that military in some games, only there's some that actually has military, but the example is Brainbread. They have military NPC or AI, but they aren't badass. They can actually die very easily. They're basically generic military men who trying to defend human player spawns, which also exist in Brainbit 2, which is also have the same purpose, defending the player spawn. They aren't really that smart. I'm only brain dead marine standing still.
It depends on the game and the story they're going for.
Yeah, but most games have like the generic, boring marine who is like, oh, I one-shot everything except players. Then some is like, oh, basically the same thing over and over.
Yeah, typically they play the same role. I mean, there's only so many things you can do with the military soldiers. They're gonna have to follow orders, or do something like that, or struggle with their own, their own dilemmas.
In Brambit 2, they basically are more of like a joke. That's what the military are, a joke, a big pile of joke.
Something like that can make help the immersion, make the player realize how how powerless people are against the zombies or whatever. Can help set that tone.
Yeah, the military in Brambit 2 or Brambit in general, the series, is meant just to cover human spawns, aren't meant to be your savior.
Yeah.
In Brambit 2, you can just easily kill them. Just aim for the head and boom, dead.
Okay, I just decided what I'm trying to do needs to wait until after I'm ready to apply the mirror modifiers. I'm just going to try and make this middle panel just slightly broken and askew.
You make the whole door?
Alright
No,
then.
it's still the wooden door, Johnny.
Because I'm I was blue on the door thing. Is doing. But I always just busy doing the programming, fixing up some stuff.
Okay.
see, that didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, but good enough.
I fixed another bug. Woo! This time was cascade shadows. Just put out there. If you had that on while playing a zombie, the cascade shadow would like flicker all over the place.
No, 5p3, something like what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, with the spectrum. Okay, something like what you're saying. I mean, like the soldiers' squad had died or whatever, and yeah, they joined survivors. Something like that would fit the our story, the kind of lore of our game. If we were to add something like that, it was just they never planned for a soldier to really be a character in the game. I assume, since it was never done.
Oh yeah, Neo has to get out on Steam. I need to do some testing shortly.
Okay, yeah, I'll get on.
But for another thing, I think if you do it correctly with a military, you can actually have a military player in a zombie game if you give them some character. Basically, like when the orders example, this is an example thing. Like the orders came in, they were ordered to shoot on sight like civilians, but the military was there, didn't like the orders, so they went like rogue, as the commander, as the commanders call them or something. I think that's how you say it, like to totally go rogue. But instead of like killing survivors, to basically maybe join them to actually survive, to actually, you know, as of give like some human stuff to them. Basically, last of humankind. Why do you want to kill the last of the race with you? Why not like stick together, survive, and hope for the best?
Yeah, tell that to Negan.
Yeah, it depends on their the person. Some of them are bandits, some of them are evil people, some of them aren't.
But think of like some that who just want to, think of their families. Maybe one of them actually have a family or have a kid of their own. Maybe they're thinking of them as well. Maybe.
In some cases, but I mean, yeah, for the character to fit our game, they would have to be a nice person, at least helpful, and with a bandit character wouldn't fit our cast of characters.
No, they wouldn't really fit. But I mean, like a military would be like, "Fuck these orders. I'm just gonna join the fighters."
Yeah, I mean that's I would think would be a human thing to do. Eventually, yeah, there's gonna be nobody to report to in probably a situation like that. So yeah, that would happen.
Yeah, maybe one of the people is just inhuman, and one, or maybe that one of his survivors maybe are his friend, like, or his neighbor, example.
All right, you guys can keep talking. Actually, I'm going to take another short break, shorter than the last one. So I'm just going to mute myself, toss it on the commercial there, and I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
Is he gonna feed the kitty?
Who knows?
Feed the lions. Oh, see, its nickname is actually Spectrum.
Sorry, what was that?
Reading the chat now, but his name is supposed to be Spectrum.
Yeah.
I completely butchered his nickname.
I hadn't even tried, reading the lead speak that he was, doing.
I know Lee speak like I think it was 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, it was popular a while ago.
Back then, I know every single fucking thing of Lee speak. Now I'm like, nope, I'm too old for that shit.
Do you have a
I'm an old man.
sign that you need to panic?
Whiny old man.
Before you do, here's the important things to remember when coming in contact with our fellow undead colleagues. Here is your friendly
I'm not sure why the stream would be freezing for you, Mark, there.
keep close to this one.
Now they, I think, set, your video quality options set to automatic, I think, usually by default.
Keep your distance from this fellow.
So you might want to hit the cog there on the video at the bottom left. When you hover over it, you'll see the cog, and you can hit that, and at the top of that little menu, you can adjust the video quality.
160p sounds like great quality.
And it's set to whatever you need it to. I usually keep mine at like 360. It's usually not too bad. It's not like too bad quality where everything's completely pixelated. You can still kind of see.
Remember the old YouTube days? The good old quality?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some videos are still, they still, encode that or resolution and whatnot.
I still remember those old days. 2006 and 7, those years. Oh boy.
Yeah, it seems like a while, but wasn't all that long ago.
10 years ago.
Here's Yuji, a friendly chap, sure, but does he really need all those weapons? Marcus over here has only a pot. Wouldn't you rather share some of your weapons and ammo with him? But look, you can barely run. Guns and ammo weigh you down. Only take what you really need and give the rest to your colleagues, making it a much more enjoyable experience for the whole family. Let's see this in action.
Okay, so no, I was not feeding my kitty. Thank you very much. I was petting it. Do you mind? And
you were feeding it to the lions.
I don't know who told you that, and I'm very upset right now. So I have a question from the Peanut Gallery that wants to know where Johnny Boy's from.
Wait, what?
Johnny Boy, where are you from, yo? From whence dost thou hail?
I think I came from a female's womb.
From your womb. Join the club.
I'm from Sweden.
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 Cool.
But I'm not entirely Swedish.
Okay.
I'm partially almost everything. I'm partially Swedish, partially German, well, Bayern, and partially Italian, partially Russian, and partially Finnish.
Good lord. Do you have
My whole
citizenship in all those
fucking-
places?
My whole fucking family tree is just invaders.
Right? Oh, the slew of inappropriate comments running through my brain right now.
I'm Finnish.
So, but you grew up in Sweden.
Yes.
Cool. I was thinking about moving to Sweden. We should chat.
Don't move to Stockholm. That's a shitty place.
I think there's a few places here in the U.S. that might give you a run for your money
Get
there, bub.
cancer from Stockholm. Don't go there. Please bomb Stockholm. Thank you very much.
Noted. Okay, so we've got our second degree of destroyed door here. Gonna move on to our third one, and then I'm probably gonna wrap it up and call it a night.
Calling it a night. You're building a very good door.
Why, thank you, sir.
Yes.
That's very nice for you to say. I thank you very much. Glad we had this conversation. We should do it again sometime. Try the shrimp. It's delicious.
Well, I'm going to do some testing. Do some zombie panic testing.
Oh, does that mean you're leaving?
No, I'm testing with NeoAssassin. I am talking in a fucking Finnish accent.
Oh, that's
They
Finnish.
phoned in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm racist, but I couldn't tell the difference, Johnny boy. So, nah. I thought maybe you were a little constipated.
I think it just speaks for his, his impression, his quality of impression there.
If I'm racist against Finnish people, I'm racist to myself as well.
He wasn't saying you were racist.
I'm always racist.
Oh, no, I
Saying
wasn't calling you racist.
Might-
I was saying maybe this makes me racist. My comment that I said.
No, everyone is racist.
Everyone's a little bit racist. It's true.
Just makes us ignorant for not knowing now the accent, not being familiar with it. That's all.
Right?
Right?
All the echo. Well, I guess I can probably just turn on some ghosting here. I don't know what the actual term is for that, but I think I like the term ghosting. Also I need vertices. Give me the vertices. See, now that's racist.
Beaver Bobby Bobo.
Family Guy can do it. It's all right for us.
Hey, there we go.
Beaver Bobby Bobo Bobby.
That makes me feel so much better. Yeah.
How to be racist in one easy step.
Be born.
Well, now. Back in my old days.
Johnny boy, we can't take you anywhere, can we?
No.
This is why most teams keep their coder locked in the back room.
Why didn't anybody tell me this?
We were like, hey, let your freak flag fly.
Back in my old days, young people used to die. Oh, wait, that was World War II.
Unfortunately, that's true, sadly.
Oh, yeah, don't forget World War I.
pretty much any war.
Oh, and World War Zero, and -1, -2, and -3, 4, 5. In every single bacon there is.
So this is going to be chunk 0300. Good, that one worked this time. I'm going to leave these stragglers here just so that I've got a good reference for what needs to be smoothed out and what does not. Pretty much just everything on the inside. Yeah, that's a hole. Let's see if we can match that.
I hold the one.
Match up the chunk to it. Yeah, that can stay right where it is. Yeah, that was down like that. That'll do. That'll do, pig. Talking to you, Johnny.
What say, Ratboy?
Huh? Say what?
What?
Did you say something, Ratboy?
No, I didn't say anything. Pig.
Rambling like an old man.
Back in my day. Oh, no, that's about how I did it. That seemed too easy. Whoops. Yeah, I haven't looked at the chat in a while. Is anybody, what's everybody talking about? What am I missing out on? With Adidas tracksuits or just accurate?
Probably a little racist.
But they do it. I think we're specifically thinking of Grand Theft Auto 4 here.
Yeah. It's true.
I feel like they have the same stereotype for Italians.
Yeah, pretty similar. I think they were pretty similar looking things.
Hmm. Ooh, this is about to get hairy. Well, gonna need a few tries here to connect that one. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, that is technically a quad. So I'll take it. You know, making destruction in games is hard, but it's got its advantages sometimes. It's a lot easier to fudge things that people are really just going to overlook easily instead of having to be super precise and spot on about everything. I think that's really the key to being a professional developer, is not just being able to make, you know, clean, pretty things, but being able to make things look grungy and awful, yet still somehow really cool looking. Just really got to be able to sell destruction. Alright, I think I got that filled in. Feel like didn't do. Oh, that's because that was above the line where the other jibs come out of. So now I just need to do the same thing with our chunk here. I already lined that up, right? Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, Mark, I used to play Command & Conquer a lot too, but now I'm not really into RTSs anymore.
Oh, that's too bad. One of my best video game ideas that I have yet to start is an RTS.
I still have Command & Conquer installed somewhere.
I used to play a lot. It was fun.
It's really fun.
Alright, it's junk. Damage 103. Damage 300. Let's see if I can remember tomorrow how that naming convention is supposed to work. Alright, so let's take a look at the whole collection here. Let's hide that. Oh, missed those chunks. There we go. Yeah. Hopefully this hole on the last one isn't big enough for anybody to jump through. I don't think it will be. Can always fudge the collision a little if I have to make sure that that's not possible, but I think it'll be fine. So yeah, that's a wood door. I'm gonna have to sort it out in my own time between me and Johnny Boy. How to get these set up to actually get them in game, and I think I'm gonna save the metal door for next week. We've been at this for about 2.5 hours now. Now would be a good time to ask any questions if you've been holding back on them. So actually, yeah, now that you have fair warning, I'm gonna actually, I'm not gonna bother sealing up the modifiers yet because I might regret that later if I decide there's little changes I need to make. So actually, I feel like we're at a point here where it would be a good idea to make a new iteration, and then I can always come back if I need to. Save as. Call that O2. And now I can apply these without consequence. Unfortunately, there's no way to apply modifiers in Blender in bulk. It's kind of annoying. Got to do each one individually, but it's usually not that big a deal. Let's see, and we've still got our Left 4 Dead 2 doors and our Half-Life 2 doors over here. This is really interesting for me. I never realized that the hardware options for this door were all just part of the same model file. Where did that go? There it is. Handle O2. Well, I guess they're not. They're separate objects. Door reference. Left handle O1, left handle O2. I guess they probably just get spawned via the code, depending on which key value you choose, whether you want lever or push bar. It's always fun to learn a little more about Half-Life 2. One of my all-time favorite games, and first time I ever saw Zombie Panic, I think it was one of the first, probably the first Half-Life 2 mod I'd ever seen, and I was just goozing in my pants because I was recognizing models and textures all over the place. I was like, I didn't know you could do this. This is amazing. And here we are, a solid, 9 years later, and I'm still learning things about how Half-Life 2 was put together, and it's never going to stop being interesting to me. So yeah, if you guys got anything to add, I'd say do it now. I'm going to switch over to the closing thing. Dialogue?
Mark, to answer your question there, no, not all doors will be breakable, but a lot of these doors, in stock maps, you can easily, block the doorways or whatever. So these doors need to be destructible. So it'll just depend on the map whether and the way Giant Boy's setting it up, we can make the door breakable later on in the map, so it doesn't have to start breakable. So it can be adjusted depending on the scenario.
Yeah, I think to answer your question more accurately there, Maker 6E6. We're technically only making 2 breakable door models here. One is going to be metal, the other is going to be wood, and each of them are going to have a various host of skins to go along with them. So they'll look different, but we'll have wood and metal options. Next week we're doing the mesh for the metal door. Yeah. So there it is.
Screw this noise, I'm gone.
Well, glad to hear that, Mark. Glad to hear we're one of you first. I think Zombie Panic was the first I played. Well, yeah, I think it was Zombie Panic's first mod I played.
I remember when Zombie Master was just getting popular, at almost exactly the same time as Zombie Panic, and everybody kept talking about it. And I think I only downloaded it and played it maybe once, and I kind of regret that a little. It seemed like a really cool game.
Swim Master, pretty cool.
Yeah, I never really got to play it much either. I didn't really get into it.
I was playing mostly CPS more than Swim Master.
Yeah, that was what I did.
I just scrolled up in the stream a little bit. There's only two things I hate: people who are intolerant of other people, of other people's cultures, and the Dutch. And that cannot be spoken by me without following it up immediately with my Vinky Vazaki! And also, smoking a pancake? Piping a grape? No? Bonging a blintz? Well, then there's no pleasing you.
It's a great movie.
Oh, I forgot cigar and a waffle. Damn it. I don't know about great, but entertaining, in ways, yes.
It was amazing.
It certainly was different. I accidentally saw Goldmember in theaters 3 times, and I don't know how that happened. I just don't know anymore.
Jeez.
And I didn't even really like it that much. I think the second one, they really peaked on the second one. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Isn't that weird? Yes. Yes, it is TV's Frank. Ah. Finally, I'm starting to find the movies that people like to reference that I can also reference. Oh, prepare for all the Ace Ventura references you can handle next week, guys. It's gonna be good.
Good, yeah.
It's very, very nasty. Oh, Johnny boy. I'm so glad you have a sense of humor.
That's boring.
What is humor?
I'm empty.
Spoofing Bourne. I never got into the Bourne series. Craig Bond, on the other hand. That we could spoof. Alright, yeah. There it is. No more Zombie Panic. We're just going to become a movie spoof team. And sorry for wasting all your time. Sounds good. Break!
Fake!
Gotta be supplies around here.
Oh, no, we can't do that. Building Zombie Panic. Alright, I'm going to cut this off, guys. It's been a great week. Don't forget to join us next week. We'll definitely have Neo. We might have Johnny Boy again. And as always, Henry the goddamned cat. Have a great weekend, guys. Over and out.
See you guys later.
Merry Christmas.